And maybe I just benefit from school structure because I liked school. There is this extra accountability. Well, there's an assignment, there's a due date. There are other people that can review this, so that's community as well. If you go in knowing that you're going to show it to some peers who are all doing the same thing as you, then you have this extra thing of looking forward to the feedback. I'm Austin. I am originally from California, but I am now in the DFW area. So I started getting into filmmaking about 2015, about 10 years ago, going through film school, working on tons of sets. I actually finished film school in 2020. Last couple of years was at a university. All the stuff I did at the community college, where I was really just taking as many classes as I could, working on as many short films as I could. That put me in where when even though I was going into the university as a junior, I knew more than a lot of the other people there just because of that. So that was super useful. Between, I would say 2020 and 2023, definite slowdown. I moved to Texas, a lot of odd jobs. I was trying to find a bit of a film group. I didn't really find anything until I guess 2023-ish, 2024, I have been getting involved with the film group. But even then, what's very clear, especially in retrospect, is the people that are going to be making films, they're the ones who are doing stuff. Like it's all about the action. I follow a lot of my old classmates and I see who's working and what they're doing. And the ones that are working and putting stuff out in the industry or any other respect, they're the ones who I remember in school. They were the ones that were like, let's go do something. Let's go do something. It wasn't just all talk, right? So yeah, that's definitely a lesson that I think carries over to here. Around the time when I first saw the survey or form it was for GTS, hey, are you at this stage and this stage? You want to be shooting more, right? Definitely what I needed to hear because when you kind of are in that sort of limbo of, I gotta make a living. I'm out of school. I'm also trying to navigate getting into the industry, especially in an area where it's not Hollywood, so there's different expectations, but I still gotta make a living. There's definitely a lot of things that kind of go through your head. What I needed was I needed to keep reminding myself why I love film in the first place. I have a full-time job. It is a 9 to 5. With that does come with the luxury of like security and a predictable schedule. Well, I can still be making films. I can work around that predictable schedule. But it's not a given. I'm not just suddenly now making films all the time because I have the predictable schedule. It's like, well, like even today, I'm tired. But if you love it, you got to do it. I think I got in with probably the second round or something of this GTS. So I was glad to see that email come through. And I just saw that it was a good opportunity just to jump right in. Maybe it's just my own frugal nature. Yeah, I was like worried about the cost. Will I get out of it? It's just like a lot of things. What I have seen in this course is, it's you get what you put into it. I think that's very clear here. You get what you put into it because you have thrown in a lot of resources here. And I can't look at it and be like, oh, well, I already covered that in film school. That's what uses that to me. It's like it's absolutely useful to me. It's not even that you're regurgitating things I learned in film school. Some stuff I did. It is for people who are brand new and people who are coming back into it wanting to shoot more. I really just needed to be shooting more, needed to work on my confidence. I'm in this slump and I tell myself I need to be making films. I need to do this. I need to do this, to do this. But it doesn't happen just because you acknowledge that needs to happen. It's a good first step. Inherently, the thing that was stopping me from progressing, I would say, a lot of it, I think, comes down to trusting myself, trusting my instincts, trusting myself to make anything. It's very easy to ruminate, especially when you do go a period of like not making stuff. If you don't have accountability, if you don't have a discipline of sorts, it's very easy to lose confidence because of that dry spell. This is an assignment now, and maybe I just benefit from school structure because I liked school. There is this extra accountability. Well, there's an assignment, there's a due date. There are other people that can review this, so that's community as well. If you go in knowing that you're going to show it to some peers who are all doing the same thing as you, then you have this extra thing of looking forward to the feedback. Assignment one, shot it. I had a pretty good vision of what I was going to do, shot it, and I got a good response. I generally will trust my creative instincts. It's still like I still need to know that those instincts are there by just doing a thing and putting it out. And also, even better, hearing the how it could have been improved. Going from one assignment to the next, it's not, at least for me, I didn't find myself feeling like, well, every one of these is going to be a hit and I'm doing really well. Like, you can get yourself caught in like comparing to other people when it's really not about that, as doing these assignments has gotten me to shoot more. It has helped me gain some confidence. It hasn't like cured it, it hasn't cured my own insecurities. I don't know if anything really cures the insecurities. I think it's more about pushing on anyway, in spite of them. I think that's probably what it is. Like where I'm at in the course, I still have a lot more to do. I know there's two assignments left on deck here that I haven't done yet. A lot of the videos I still have to complete. I'm definitely not done with the course, but doing this program, it's also catching me at a like it probably wasn't the most convenient time for me to do it, but also I felt like I needed just to take the opportunity anyway. Yeah, I'm stressed, and it's not just because of this. I'll get to other reasons why I'm stressed. But let me say this. Okay, you're right in calling this much more action oriented because that's maybe it's because there's also this like there was a financial stake in there that does hold me accountable a little bit too. But yeah, you know what? This is presented with here's the assignment, go do it. You should be able to get this done in a week, 2 weeks. There is enough stake in there for me and the excitement of like when I know when I make it, we'll go over it in office hours. That's all part of I think the action-oriented strategy. If I am going to these meetup groups locally, meeting filmmakers, which has been a great thing for me, it's very easy for me to go to like the first meeting and then not go back because I just don't feel confident that I'll be good enough to help on the set or whatnot. It's easy to walk away from it and feel like maybe now's not the right time. But this, I feel like I invested a little bit more into it for obvious reasons, but also just because there's certain expectations there that are really lined up. I know that here's the expectation, make this film, here are the parameters, be creative about those parameters. When I make it, we're going to walk through it and scrutinize the hell out of that thing on the office hours. I get to be happy that I made something. I get to share that with some folks. If I didn't have other stuff going on and all I was doing was work, like it'd be, I guess, easier for me to like put those deadlines on myself. And yes, it is go at your own pace, but I probably would be upping that pace and falling a little closer to the suggested assignment times. What's good about it being self-paced is that I can ease some of that stress by not pushing too hard on some of those deadlines. I do feel that I owe it to still try to attend office hours on those busier weeks. Even though I don't have anything, it's like, well, I do like giving feedback. I try to be really detailed, even in film school. Like I try to make sure I gave really good feedback to people, try to be really constructive because I do like being able to see what someone's put together and figure out with them how do we make it work, which has been great with this. I really like how in the office hours, I mean, we do get granular. And yeah, it might be interesting on some of those office hours when there's only one film and it's a minute long and somehow there we spend the whole hour or more on it and like I'm starting to zone out a little bit, but it's not always for my main benefit. It's like the benefit of whoever is like paying attention the whole time, whose film it is. We are getting granular about even just the smallest of cuts. I mean, I think that's important. It definitely helps with certain blind spots, even the ones where the assignments where I felt a little bit better about there were some blind spots. I may have been riding a little bit of a high after I posted it, and I felt like this turned out pretty well, but I need to acknowledge, oh yeah, that's something I really did not even think about. Thank you. The most recent assignment I did, I knew I felt weird about it. The office hours, we just tore it up, and that was super helpful because it just like, yes, that's why I felt weird about it. I knew what the joke was, I knew what the through line was. Why didn't I nail it? Oh, it's because of this. Cool. My ego is not even hurt by this. Great. Love it. I'm so humble. It's helpful. It really is. You've made a lot of YouTube videos about filmmaking. You clearly have been doing a lot of stuff. I'm not revering you as this like necessarily this authority figure as a professor. Not that I was revering all my professors, but like I'm not putting you up on this like big pedestal, but I'm acknowledging without scouring through your IMDb and every single one of your videos. I watched a lot of your videos, right? Granted, the fact that you're on YouTube and you have a lot of these views, that comes with like, oh, what's he like in real life? And it's like, okay, yeah, he's just another person. It is very helpful to get your point of view because you do have more experience. It definitely helped push me a bit more in terms of, hey, if I'm making something small and I got to make it kind of quickly, then how do I go about it? The systemized approach of it and just having to come up with something and then go do it, that is definitely a good challenge. I think maybe the improvement I felt was more so how I approach it conceptually. I maybe it might be a little early for me to say exactly how I've improved other than conceptually come up with stuff and maybe getting a little confidence. But I can definitely see with like some of my peers in this how they've improved. It's not always super obvious unless I like look at each like I pick one person in the group and then just kind of look at film one, two, three, But some of them it is like really clear when I see the risk taking and what seems like a little more confident approach. Like I definitely see a progression for some of the other folks. From this program, I was hoping to get connected with some more filmmakers because it's not even necessarily like, hey, these are people I'm going to be collaborating with. I don't know if I will. Like, we're kind of all over the place, which is fine. I knew I was going to get that, and I did. So that's good. Getting me to make more stuff was a big one, and technically I've done that. I went in looking to shoot more, and it did work. It did get me shooting more. It did give me some more confidence. Also, I kind of went in looking to get whatever the systemized approach is. And I think you communicated that, and I think we got that because there's some resources in here that like I printed out the weekly, like here's a work week and here's how you can break that stuff up. When I found myself needing to figure out the next assignment at least a couple of times, and I was getting tired from work, and I would look at what I printed out of that schedule. And I thought, oh, I got 30 minutes. I got this. I can do this. So I guess the tangible results of the course thus far for me, this made me go in with a little more purpose with the stuff I was shooting, actually thinking about a framework. When you're in the point where you're like, yeah, I haven't shot anything, it'd be nice to shoot something. Shooting it, completing it, and sharing it is definitely a win for me. I am also right now in pre-production for a short film, and I am going to take some of the tips from this into that. Some of those tips with like actors. Like I love working with actors. I did theater in high school and taught me a lot. And even a little bit after high school, did some more theater. And I wanted to be an actor for like a hot minute there. And then I started doing filmmaking. I was like, no, I want to be a director. But I found like that I really like working with actors. That collaboration is very fun. A big question for me was, well, how do I interact with non-actors? How do I direct non-actors? I've had, ideas and stuff, and but I think there were some of those like some of the tips you threw in there that you probably got from a lot of resources and like probably your own experience. Super helpful. It's making me a bit more excited for when I have to do a rehearsal with these actors. For someone who's like trying to decide if they're going to do the GTS, I think some of the things to consider are doing this program. I'm not done with it, and it was beneficial for me in a lot of different ways. I think for if you're on the fence, don't be too afraid of it feeling like it's don't make it, how do I say? Okay, if you're on the fence and you're feeling stuck with shooting, feeling stuck with a certain place and you want to be making films, it is definitely a helpful tool that does give you a kick in the ass, for lack of a better term. Like it's a jump start, but it's not a jump start that it's not magic. It's like the modules, the office hours, it doesn't just automatically make you start doing it. You gotta put in the effort. What you're getting out of it is resources. But I think what's super valuable is if you're on the fence, you probably got certain doubts. You looked at this in the first place because you're at a certain place with film and your own creativity. And honestly, doing the office hours and interacting with the other people, they will share some of the things that you're probably feeling. You know, you might make a film in this when you start it, and you probably have some doubts like, well, I shot it and I made it. I'm going to show it to people, kind of nervous, and I might want to downplay my wins because I don't know how I feel about it. But like they'll give you feedback, it's helpful. You'll watch their films and they'll share their own insecurities and you'll feel validated. And I think that's really valuable.